In keeping with partnership, let me introduce to you another partner we have. This is my friend Jesse's walking out. I think Jeff said that a minute ago that we have 9 churches now are partnering together. Jesse comes to represent that kind of partnership. And so Jesse, Christ Church, and you guys have been in and out and part of Salty to some extent for several years, and you guys are here tonight and talking about partnership. Tell these folks, from a pastor standpoint, why would another church across town want to invest and partner with us, what we're doing?
Yeah, that's a great, hey, there we go. That's a great thing to talk about. And I also want to just say, Salty Church, you guys, Robbie and Christy, you guys have embodied this as long as we have known you. You guys have been big brothers and sisters, and at multiple junctures in the life of Christ Church, Tiffany and I and our team have benefited from your support and friendship and care, and so that starts right here. And so we also, as a church, we want to fulfill the Great Commission in all of its pieces and parts. We want to be active in true religion to care for widows and orphans in their time of need, and so we saw the need. We also had some experiences. If you've been in church any length of time, church gets messy, and I'll never forget as a young pastor having families rolling up to our church in Port Orange and asking for help any way we could, gas money, groceries, and I made some mistakes early on. I gave people cash, and they all just started coming. They just started showing up. So I learned not to do that. I had to learn everything the hard way, but I'll never forget one afternoon, a gentleman named Frederick showed up at Christ Church. He had 7 children, 2 of them autistic. He and his wife were both veterans and disabled. And they were asking for help. And I was at a loss. How do I help this family? How do I help them for the duration of what they're gonna face? I didn't know what to do, so I knew not to give them cash. I drove to Little Caesars. I bought all the pizzas that were ready, and I told them what I was doing, and this guy comes out, he goes, I'm the owner of this place, and you can have all these pizzas for free. It turns out he was not the owner, but he quit that day.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I delivered all those free pizzas. But I'll never forget the next time Frederick showed up, and I just thought, I don't know how to do this. And it was shortly thereafter, Robbie actually reached out and told us about Salty Family Services, Jeff's story, the mission to rescue and empower families to avoid abuse and neglect. And I thought, this is what we have a passion to do, and we don't have the expertise, the manpower to do that. And so Jeff and I met together, we talked about it, and we started our first missional partnership. We started supporting Salty Family Services for, I don't know, it was like $250 a month. And we'd invite Jeff to come in to Christ Church and preach a few times a year. He would pass out these Call Me When cards, and we would empower our congregation to participate in active ministry under the leadership and wisdom of somebody who has the gifts, experience, and character to oversee that for our community. And the stories just started pouring in. Today we have, I don't even know the number, but a ton of volunteers from Christ Church. We're supporting financially, monthly, exponentially more than that 250 that we started with. And we count Salty Family Services not only one of our earliest mission partners, but our most valuable for doing the work that matters here in Volusia County.
Yeah, how about that? It's crazy. So the financial thing helps to some extent. It helps fund some of what is happening. That's important. But the partnership in terms of how to care for people when they come to church looking for, I say this all the time, nobody cares much about heaven if you can't figure out how you're gonna survive this week. And they come to the church trying to figure out how they're gonna survive this week. What's our role in that? And so as we partner together, it really helps strengthens what we can do. But then the Call Me When element too, sometimes I forget about that. I don't know if you want to say a little more about how that works in your church in terms of the Call Me When, because some people might be hearing those words for the first time.
Yeah, so the Call Me When cards are an awesome idea. I don't know when Jeff and Francis came up with this, but they would put these cards out there, and it allows people to be creative and generous with the resources they actually have. And so we have people at Christ Church who have maybe an empty mother-in-law suite, maybe they're retired and they have time to be able to coach people with their finances or take people to and from job interviews or doctor's appointments. Maybe they can babysit children. There's a whole wide variety of things that people can do, but it takes some leadership to organize all those things. And so Jeff and Francis are able to collect all that information, collate it, get it into a database, and then when they have a situation arise, they're able to reach in to see of all the people in our wider community of churches who's said they can help and connect the resource to the need. And that's unique from anything I've ever seen. And like, we're honored to be a part of that. You just never know when that phone call is gonna come, but to know that you've got an army of Jesus followers who are ready to be mobilized in a whole wide array of different situations, like that's what the church is all about.
Yeah, big deal. And I really love that it's a great tool as a pastor to how to connect each individual in the church to the mission. Not everybody can lead small group ministry or young adult stuff or work in a nursery, but everybody can do something. And that Call Me When allowed people to fill in according to their talent and their ability and their availability. And so that tool in partnership with Family Services helps really empower hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of volunteers to hands-on helping families in need. So big deal.
Yeah. And there's one other aspect of this. For Tiffany and I, when we launched Christ Church in 2015 with an amazing small group, we wanted to be so engaged in ministry that we were reshaping our community. We also recognized that we had very limited resources at that point in time, and we didn't feel the need to recreate the wheel. I think Christianity has kind of moved beyond this need for every church to do everything its own way and by itself. And there really is a beautiful camaraderie that's happening in our Christian churches in this area in particular, and we were just really honored to be a part of that. And so we set out from the very beginning to make strategic missional partnerships, not only with other churches, but with parachurch organizations. And it doesn't matter where you go to church or what little distinctives you have about belief or practice, like we're in this together, and we wanna work together to make our communities stronger, our families more equipped, our neighborhoods safer. And so these type of missional partnerships are able to do that. So I just wanna say, if you're here and you're a part of a local church that isn't partnering with Salty Family Services, I just wanna tell you as a pastor, this partnership has changed my life. For me to be standing in front of a family who's asking for help and to know that I don't have what it takes to equip them, to go the distance with helping them meet their needs, to really vet what's going on in their situation, but then I'm one phone call away from active resource throughout the whole community to see them get the help they need, that's a game changer. If you get an opportunity to get in front of your pastor or your elder board or deacon board or however your church is structured and say, listen, if we can make a partnership here with Salty Family Services, we can do real ministry and we can alleviate what we're not good at and be a part of something God's doing in our community.
Yeah, very cool. I love it. Thank you. I just can't help but mention, somebody said there's a table here that's Parkview. Is there a Parkview? There they are. That's another one of our church partners. Thank you. Thank you for partnering with us. It's a big deal. Like I said, there's nine other pastors and churches like Jesse, so it's super cool, and we're not done yet. So, Jesse, thank you, and I appreciate all that you do. Thanks for sharing.
Yep, thanks for your partnership. And hey, if you haven't been to Pump House, go get yourself a fried spare rib.
There's
none tonight, but trust me.
Talking about partnership, there we go.